Ohayou gozaimasu minasan. Ooh, it has been a long time since I've seen you guys. Ooh. So here I am. This is Rift. For any of you who don't know, Rift is free to play up to level 20. You can go to their account. I'll have a link in the description, or you can go to their website. You just make an account for free. You can play up to level 20. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. If it's not, I'm so sorry. But that's what it said when I looked on their website. But anyway, I played this game back at release. As you can see here, this is my first character I made. It was a mage. I had a lot of fun playing her. She's on the Defiant side. There's two sides to this game, or two factions. There's the Guardians and the Defiants. And so yeah, so I played the mage. It was a lot of fun. And then, you know, I got to level 36. I don't know what the level cap in this game is, but after I hit level 36 or so, I stopped playing. I think it was like a WoW expansion came out, and it drew me back into WoW, and it pulled me away from the game. So that's why I ended up leaving at level 36. I was having a blast though. The game's a lot of fun. I love Rift. It's a good game. And then I would say maybe a year or two after I left, I came back and I made another mage, and you know, it was a lot of fun. Got her level 20. Whatever. It's all good. Oh, by the way, I'm playing on the Shard Sea Stone. It's a PvP. It's the server. They call them shards, but there's only one PvP server, and that's the one I'm on because I love PvP. Fuck yeah. You know, you can get on PvE RP. They've got one of those or whatever. So that's what I'm playing on. And then I came back again recently, and this guy, I recorded a little bit playing on this guy. He looks badass as fuck. Like, let me just go ahead and say that. This guy's a badass motherfucker. And it was a lot of fun, but you know what? I want to play a mage again. I've played mage this whole game. I want to play another mage, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna create a mage. So we've got Defiance, we got Guardians. I have plans for how I'm gonna kind of do this like little let's play thing, but I'll explain that later. I want to play the Guardians again, so because I played so much of the Defiance when I first played, I want to give the Guardians a try. I haven't really seen much of their questing or anything like that. So this is the three races you get to play on the Guardians. You get the dwarves. They look kind of funky. Their arms are kind of funky looking, but they're pretty badass still. You know, I like them. Whatever. Then you just got high elves and humans. So I'm gonna play a human. It's kind of what I want to do. All right. So here is the 4 classes. There's only 4 classes in this game, but it's a lot more complicated than 4 classes. Like I can't explain the exact details because it's been a long time since I've played, and I'm by no means like an expert on this game at all. I'm a very much so a newbie novice, but I'll just go into each one of these and show you kind of what they have. So the warrior, they've got, you know, their two-handed warrior, and the way the talent trees work is they're called souls, and each class has like 6 or 7 souls. With the expansion, as you can see here, this requires the Storm Legion expansion. They added in some extra souls to each class, so I don't know the exact numbers, but these warriors, they can be, you know, 2 hands. They can be kind of a huntery support class with buffs and things, but they're still melee. And then there's these 2 different types of tanks that they can be, and there's a lot of variation, but I'll show you that later on when we get into the actual game. So now we have the cleric. We've got the Flamekeeper is a healer who uses fire and life. The Deathrite, who uses death as a tool to, like, you know, relieve pain, or relieve pain. You've got the Thunder. Let's see, what do they do? You know, there's just lots of variations to each class. So you see 4 classes, but there's so much more than just 4 classes. And it's really nice because really it makes it so, say you like playing lots of caster types, you could choose mage and you could cover all those. Like, for instance, the rogue. You've got the Shadow Stalker, who's the very stabby kind of, you know, stealth rogue that you know of. This is like the hunter. They've got their pet. That's a goofy ass looking fucking boar. Look at it staring into my soul. Oh god, that is creepy as fuck. Anyway, so you've got the hunter, then you have this kind of evasion tank. So if you need a tank and you've only got rogues, you might be able to do it. Maybe not end game. I'm not sure how strong they are as tanks, but it's pretty cool. And then I've heard this is the best, or like the most important class is the battle bard. They add a lot of buffs and things. So that's pretty cool. Then there's the flame trooper. Don't know what that does. So the rogue can do so many different roles, which is pretty cool. And then you get into mage, and I love mages. So you've got the Grave Lord who acts kind of like a demonology warlock in World of Warcraft. They have pets that help them, and they do various damage like that, kind of direct damage. There's also kind of like an affliction warlock or like a shadow priest kind of spec. You've got these guys who are like earthbenders, sort of. They throw rocks and they use these various elementals and things to their will. The Corruptor, I guess this is kind of like the thing they was talking about. This is new. This is like a melee mage. I've never played it, obviously. I don't have Storm Legion. And then they have Sage. This is my favorite spec of any mage of any game I've ever played. I love healing as this Sage spec. Oh my god. It is so much fun. But it's not the best for solo leveling. It's kind of slow damage-wise. Because the way it works is you shoot your various spells that do damage. So you're doing damage, and that damage then spreads out and heals the entire group. And then you have other direct heals and things like that. I don't know how viable they are as like a healer for like raids, like end game content. I don't know if they have raids or whatever's going on, but they have really good AoE heal. So they're good like support healers for sure. But maybe main healers, they're not as good. I'm not positive. But I'll definitely be playing a bit of Sage at some point in PvP and other such things. I really enjoy it. But for leveling, I want to do the Grave Lord. Having the pet is really nice. It helps you along. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and try and set these up here. So I like a thin face. We'll just put it there. I'm going to put some blue eyes because that's just hot. But yeah, so I'm just really into mages. They're kind of amazing. I don't know. That healing spec is really like all I used to play. But you definitely need to do damage, and at the time it didn't do very much damage at all. Again, I don't know if that's still true though. Let's get rid of her markings. How are her eyes? They're a little big. Let's see here. Okay, what kind of makeup do we have here? Let's see. Yeah, we'll probably just do this one. And should I do like a blue? It's kind of creepy. I don't know. I kind of like that. Okay, let's give her a little bit of color here. Not too much color. I'm a pale nerd. Height. I like the height being short. See, that's tall. No. Yeah, they gotta be short and just adorable. Look at that. It's beautiful. I love it. What about features here? Whoa. Some of those look a little crazy. I kind of like this one. Just a normal looking face. That's all I need. Alright, let's name her Kana Hanazawa. Because I fucking love Kana. She's the best voice actor ever. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this started. Bam. So I'm going to be quiet through this cutscene.
The king of Mythosia would have sacrificed the world to Regulus the Destroyer. The faithful rebelled against his heresy. We overthrew the tyrant and put his armies to the sword. Defeated in battle, he turned to the machines of the Defiance. Their devices drew upon the power of the dragon, a power they could not control. This is the day the rifts came. This is the day we died. But the gods of the Vigil intervened. Their messengers went among the fallen and ascended the worthy, not for their virtue, but for their might. In you, they placed their faith, their hope, and their power. You are our salvation. You are a guardian.
Alright, so here we are. Real quick, you notice I'm level 4, and I've got a bunch of money in some bags. I didn't do any quests, but I went out and killed some things, set up some key bindings, sent some money over from my other characters, you know. So you don't start out with this stuff. I wanted to get a couple things set up before I started recording. So let's just go ahead and jump right into the soul tree here, and I'll explain more about other things in a minute. But so first off, this is the soul spec that I've chosen. If you go into the calling purpose, this will show you all these different things you can kind of do. And these are just general ideas for things you can do, but they're not like set in stone. So as you see here, there's these 3 souls: Necromancer, Warlock, and Dominator. They all do different things. This is a support soul, you know, offensive soul, and this is offensive as well, doing various like skeleton summons and things like that. So now, if you click on the souls, these are all the rest of the specs that you have. So you have Stormcaller. This is used like lightning and other like various things. The Pyromancer is like fire. I think this is Crollo. I'm not exactly sure how you say that. I think it's Crollomancer. That's how I'm gonna say it. And this is the healing spec. You have Elementalist. He's like the Earthbender, kind of summon things like that. The Archon is kind of you do like the spells you cast out buff you in ways. They don't really buff the raid or anything, or the party. And then this is the melee. So you've got all of these and all of those to choose from. And as you can see down here, there's these different roles. You can have up to 6 different specs. Not right now, but later on you'll unlock more and more specs. So you can have tons of specs for your one character. So really it lets you play so many different ways, and I really like that. When you're playing WoW and let's say you level up a mage in WoW, you can't do much. You're kind of stuck being, you know, what you are. You don't. This is like playing a warlock, like several different types of warlock. You can play, you know, fire mage, all these different things. You can play a healer. Like you can do so many variety of things. It's really kind of awesome. But anyway, so as you can see here, the trees kind of, they go up, and they also have these go down. You see these little red numbers. Basically, it just means the more points you put into the tree, these will just automatically unlock. And these are the roots of the tree, and these are the branches, I think. So, you know, there's a lot of variety you can do trying to get certain spells down in through here. So you have to spend so many points up the tree. And, you know, if you spend a ton of points, you can unlock these really crazy end ones. And for now, I'm going to just stick with this Gravelord. And Sage. When I get an extra spec, I'll do Sage so I can play that and PvP and stuff. But for now, I'm just going to use Gravelord because they have this preview purpose, and they have things already set out for you to do. So it'll automatically, you can just hit this and it'll automatically spend all of your points as it's set for, you know, by the creators of the game. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it that way. I think this is a really good way to get a new player started. Just let them pick a general spec, and then just spend the points for them, so you don't have to read through all of these trees, all of these spells. It's just going to do it for you. So I like it. I like it a lot. It's really cool. It's very player friendly for sure. So let's see. So we're going to go and save and exit, and it's going to pull up these spells. So we have Dark Touch, instant, deals damage over time. It's a dot. And what is this? This is instant. Also deals damage over time. I just got rid of a spell I didn't want to get rid of. Here we go. So you got your general abilities. It's a basic kind of MMO stuff. It's nothing crazy really. Transmog, we'll put you as 5 for now. So let me explain this philosophy of how I'm going to play today. I'm just going to wander around and kill some things before I start the questing. So, I don't know about you guys, but whenever I play MMOs, for whatever reason, I just don't care to read the quest text. Like, I've played WoW, and you know, I can think of like thousands of quests that I've done in WoW, and and I couldn't tell you what any of those quests are. You know what I mean? Like, I don't read quests. So my idea for playing today, and for at least for a little while I'm playing Rift, I want to try to get into the story of what this game is all about. The story of Talaria. This is the world we live in, is Talaria, and I want to see what's going on here and see what's really behind everything. So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know if it's gonna be interesting. You know, it's an MMO. The story is probably not amazing, but I have no idea because I've never followed the story to an MMO before. I remember I tried to follow the story in Terra Online, which is a really fun game, by the way. But the story was just fucking terrible. Like, the questing in that game was terrible. The story was terrible. So you didn't care the fuck about quests in Terra. The combat was so much fun. You just wanted to get back out and beat the shit out of things. You didn't care what you were doing, even if they were stupid quests. But so anyway, that's the idea. Let's go ahead and start doing these quests. I'll read them out here to you guys. So, the gods of the Vigil have returned you to life, Kana Hanazawa. They have restored your body to battle Regulus and his servant, King Adraxis. The Vigil brought back others to fight by your side, but you alone must embody the righteous fury of the gods. Okay, so let's think about that. So we were dead, and they brought us back to life. That's kind of what that beginning cinematic was, or that beginning video. You know, we died at some point, and they brought us back to life. That's pretty cool. So we're these ascended beings. Okay. So, Ascension has removed my sight, but I can see further, deeper than before. With my new vision, I see that you are Vigil's chosen mage. Let us begin to cleanse these lands of Adraxis' corruption. Okay. So that's kind of cool. Let's zoom in there. So she has no sight, but she has these kind of glowy eyes. That's kind of cool. I like that. Find that interesting. Glowing eyes is just the sign of awesomeness. I like glowing eyes. I don't know why that is. Do you guys like glowing eyes? I sure as hell do. It just gets my dick hard. Alright, so, in my life before Ascension, I never imagined that God's touch could be so powerful, so uplifting. But I see their power in your heart as well. Slay the demons that possess the people of Mythosia, and show Adraxis that the Vigil guides your hand. Alright. So, it seems like we're gonna kill a bunch of these guys over here. I already killed a shit ton of them, but we'll just go here and do my instant dots. It's fine by me, whatever. I kind of over-leveled myself here a little bit, but that's cool. So that's pretty interesting. We're these ascended beings. We're brought back. We've got, you know, more power than an average person would have. We're strong. That's the general idea here. We're fighting Regulus. Regulus is this. He's like the main villain, I guess. He's trying to destroy the world or something. I don't know what he's up to, but well, there we go. We got all of our kills down. Let's go over here. Turn the quest back in. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of take it easy, do my questing. You know, normally when you're questing in an MMO, it's like you're just shoving your dick in the dirt as hard as you can and just leveling as fast as you fucking can. And you know, I want to take a breather and just kind of try to enjoy the leveling experience, not try so hard to get to endgame, because, you know, who knows, I might not even make it to endgame. Let's see. By freeing the souls of those people, you have bolstered the glory of the Vigil while diminishing King Adraxis' undead horde. You are truly Vigil's chosen, Kana Hanazawa. I'm just gonna start saying Kana if they have my thing. I don't need to say her full name, just Kana. Kana-chan. Daisuki desu yo. Okay, so in the battle at Theodore Fields. So by the way, there's a lot of names and things, so I'm just gonna try and say them as best as I can, and most likely I'm gonna say a lot of the names wrong, but I'm not gonna talk about it. This is the only time, so I'll try and say them as best as I can. If I say them wrong, sorry. You know, I usually just read these things in my head, and when you say things out loud, it's a little different. You know, you have this idea of what it's supposed to be in your head, but you don't really pronounce it properly. But anyway, in the battle at Theodore Fields, we were near victory. Then Adraxus opened a death rift, and all of Mythosia became exposed to the corruption of Regulus, the dragon of extinction. So Regulus, he's this dragon of badass evilness. That's interesting. We need to take the fight to Adraxus and end the terror, but first we need cold steel. Recover swords from the town below and deliver them to Shyla Starhearth. Okay.
Do not despair.
So the first quest we had here was to save these guys. These guys are, I guess, corrupted in some way, and I think when we killed them, their souls came out, and yeah, there we go. An Ascendant has released me, so that's cool. So we're just basically saving these guys from the corruption that's taken over them. I like that. That's interesting. And now we've got a fight against King Adraxus and Regulus. So we've got to collect some swords here, get shit going down. I like that. I'm gonna try and like think about the storyline and think about the quest and see if the quest actually makes sense. Like, why am I doing this quest? Am I just collecting, you know, boar asses and, you know, fucking bear dicks? Am I just collecting those just to give to some sick fuck for no reason? Or, you know, so far it seems like these quests, they have a point. There's a reason to what I'm doing here. So I like that. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do something incredibly important. So here we've got my my lesser skeletal zealot. He's a badass motherfucker, but we're gonna go ahead and rename him. You know, it's interesting. You know, I like to have some minions, and so we're gonna go ahead and there we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. All right. Yeah. Okay, Paco, you do my bidding, you dirty bitch. You attack whoever I tell you to. Oh god. All right. Don't worry about it. Love you, Paco. Good man. Let's see, how long has it been? It's been about 22 minutes. Oh, shut up, bitch. I'm saving your ass. Get out of here. Let's go ahead and read this notice of evacuation. I've got all of my swords, so I'll head over to the quest area in the next episode, but let's read this notice and end off this episode. Okay. To whom it may concern, my family and I have taken all we can carry, and we left this God-forsaken land forever. There are undead creatures everywhere now, and from the house I can see the very terror in the world itself that our mad king has made. It's just too much for a man to bear. If you're reading this, do yourself a favor and get out while you can. Mythosia is damned. Okay. Oh shit. I think I need to change the key binding for this. Hitting S is fucking me over. I keep unsummoning my skeleton. I'll fix that after here. But so yeah, that's interesting. So the people are getting out of this place. Their king damned them. I'm not sure who the king is. We're fighting Regulus and Adraxus. Interesting. Alright, well, so I hope this was somewhat entertaining. I would recommend you guys, if you like MMOs, I'd recommend checking out Rift if you've never played it before. You can play it for free, first 20 levels for free. You'll have a good time, I promise. It's a fun game. It's interesting. It's an MMO. There's nothing groundbreaking going on here. There's nothing, you know, mind-shatteringly amazing about it. It's just a solid, good game. So, alright guys, that's all I got for you today. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao, mata.